Okay, so good morning, Doc. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to interview you this morning. So we are from BED 4A.
Okay, it's my pleasure.
Yes, thank you. So this interview serves as an enlightenment for us to clearly understand how you embody innovation and entrepreneurship in the classroom. So here's our first questions about the background of teaching journey experiences. How long have you been teaching and what inspired you to become a teacher?
Okay. I am Dr. Analisa Mapula. I've been into teaching since 1995, and I'm a classroom teacher for 8 years. 5 years as teacher one, and 3 years of that is a master teacher one. And after that, I got promoted to a principal one and two, public schools district supervisor, and now I am currently an education program supervisor. Looking back at your question, what inspired me to become a teacher? On the first place, I want to go into the medical field. I want to study dentistry. But since my mother, I am the eldest in the family, and my parents are both teachers, they wanted the first child to follow their footsteps. Yeah, considering also that I have three younger brothers are also studying, considering the finances, so I've I was convinced to enroll a College of Education, and because it runs in the blood, I really enjoyed the course, and I really learned from it, and I could feel the sacrifices that my parents experienced in their job. So I learned to love it.
Doc, what challenges have you encountered in your teaching journey?
Of course, when we ask about challenges, in the first year of teaching, it was a challenge for me since I started in the private school. When I transferred to public schools, I was assigned then to a newly reopened school in the remotest area, the very farthest area in our district, and the adjustment is really the challenge. But if you have the passion, if you have the heart, if you have that commitment, of course, all those challenges will be handled and you can adjust to it.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Let's proceed to the second question, Doc, which is
Okay.
about innovation and creativity. And here's the following questions we wanted you to answer. Can you describe an innovative strategy or project you introduced in your class? And what inspired you that innovation? And what risks or challenges did you face when implementing it? And how did your students or schools benefit from it?
Okay. So when it comes to innovation, um, I was assigned as a combination teacher, multi-grade teacher, handling grades 1 and 2 during my first years in teaching before I got promoted to a management position. Since it is a combination class, it is always a challenge for our grades 1 and 2 learner to develop in them the literacy and numeracy competencies. But I did not take it as a challenge, where in fact, I consider the combination class as an opportunity. Why an opportunity? Because since both grades 1 and 2 will come together in a day, so those lessons that is not, shall we say, not fully developed among our grade 1, and when they get promoted to grade 2, yeah, hearing the same topic that is discussed to grade 1, so therefore, they get refreshed, the grade 2 learners will get refreshed about the topic for grade 1. So it enhances, or it refreshed them, and the skills will be more learned for the to who found out to be not so fast when it comes to academic achievement. But for the grade 1 also, the grade 2 learners is of great help for the grade 1, especially during partnership. So that's the innovations that I did, partnering the grade 1 and the grade 2 learners in the remedial instructions for reading and numeracy competencies niya. Yes, it is very helpful in the school because for those 8 years teaching, I haven't encountered any non-reader, any non-numerates learner during the district validation where in fact I awarded as zero non-reader, zero non-numerates in my class. And the challenges, of course, is the time because you have to extend time, you have to extend effort, and also you have to extend the social relationship among community and especially parents because you have to convince them to support you in that endeavor so that they can also extend time for their children. So that's all for that question number
Okay,
two.
thank you so much, Doc. So, Doc, let's proceed to the connection to entrepreneurships, and here's the questions.
Okay.
In what ways do you think being a teacher is similar to being an entrepreneur? And how do you create value for your students, schools, or community through your teachings? And what advice can you give to future teachers about being innovative and resourceful?
Okay, I like the question. For me, there is really connection between a teacher and an entrepreneur. Because being an entrepreneur, you always considered your market. You always considered what your market really want from you being an entrepreneur. So just like in the teaching profession, our market, our clientele are our learners. So we have to know what really the needs of our learners. So we have to give to them what they really wanted. So that is why being a teacher, you have to be resourceful and innovative considering that each learner is unique. So therefore, you have to provide to them what they really need. And the advice that I could give to future teachers like you, because that's also my stand. When I was a teacher, a new teacher in the school, I always believe in the saying, and that's written on my table, that it is not the worst thing in the world to fail. The worst thing is not to try. That's quote unquote. So therefore, if you want to be resourceful, if you want to be innovative, you have to try. Do not be afraid to try new things, especially if your purpose, if your goal is to provide what's really the best for your clientele, which are the learners.
Wow. From your previous answer was very enlightening, Doc. So here's the last question, which is all about the faith and values. So how do your moral or faith-based values influence your innovations as a teacher?
Mm-hmm. That's the hardest thing, no? That's the hardest question. Um, my faith, I always believe that every learner has the capacity to learn. So there's no such thing as learners, uh, shall we say, dili makamao. There's no such thing as learners nga dull learners. It's only that we will not give them the appropriate material, appropriate strategy, appropriate intervention for them to really open their academic excellence. So it's always my faith that every learner has the capacity to learn. So therefore, I have to find ways to innovate and find new techniques for them to be able to catch up and to be able to belong to the society that they are in.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer, Doc. So, That's a very great answer. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for sharing your insights and inspiring us to become a better teachers. We really learned a lot from this
It's
interview.
my pleasure to be talking to pre-service teachers because we're about as to age, we're to retire soon. So we've loved to hear those new teachers coming in to be a great teachers and who has the passion and love for the learners.
The interview showed me that being a teacher is like being an entrepreneur because we must understand what people need. For teachers, our learners are the ones we serve, so we must know their needs and adjust our teaching. Each learner is different, so we should be resourceful and creative. And I believe that every learner can learn when we give them the right support.
My insights about the connection between teaching and entrepreneurship. The teacher's insight shows a meaningful connection between teaching and entrepreneurship, just like an entrepreneur studies the needs of the market. A teacher must understand the diverse needs of learners. Students become the clients, and the classroom becomes a space where value is created through meaningful lessons, relevant activities, and a supportive environment. What stands out most is the emphasis on being innovative and resourceful. Since every learner is unique, teachers cannot rely on a single method. They must explore new strategies, experiment with ideas, and continuously adapt. The coach shared, "It is not the worst thing in the world to fail. The worst thing is not to try," reminds future educators that growth comes from taking risks and being open to change. Overall, the message encourages teachers to be courageous, learner centered, and committed to providing what is truly best for their students, their school, and their community.
Listening to the interview was truly inspiring and eye-opening. Dr. Annalisa Mapula's journey showed how passion, purpose, and commitment can transform challenges into meaningful achievements. What stood out most was her view that being a teacher is not only about delivering lessons, but also about understanding learners, innovating based on their needs, and never being afraid to try new approaches. Her experience with multi-grade teaching proved that innovation does not always require advanced technology, but rather creativity, collaboration, and genuine concern for students. I also admired her belief that every child has the capacity to learn, which reflects strong values, patience, and faith. The message that it is not failure that should scare us, but the unwillingness to try, serves as an inspiring reminder for future teachers. Overall, the interview taught me that teaching is both a calling and a mission, and innovation becomes meaningful when rooted in compassion, resourcefulness, and purpose.
The lesson I've learned from the interview was that even though I'll be assigned to the remotest area, if I have passion, heart, and commitment in teaching, I can overcome the challenges I face in my teaching journey. If I want to be an innovator and creative in teaching, I must extend time, effort, and social relationships among the community, especially parents. Being a teacher is similar to being an entrepreneur because an entrepreneur, what Doc Mapula said, that you always consider your market and what's your market really want. Just like in teaching, our market is our learner. We have to know what our learners needs because as a teacher, you must be resourceful and innovative, considering that each learners are unique. It is not the worst thing in the world to fail, but the worst thing is not to try. So as a future educator, if we want to become an innovative and resourceful teacher, we must not be afraid to try because there's nothing wrong with trying. And it's good to try new things, especially when our purpose, our goal is to provide the best for our learners.
During our interview with Doc Mapala, I learned that being a teacher is very much like being an entrepreneur. She explained that Like entrepreneurs, teachers create value by identifying problems and learning and deciding solutions that benefit students and the school community. Her responses highlighted how faith and values guide her decision, reminding us that teaching is both a vocation and a service. This interview reinforced that being an entrepreneur means being resourceful, innovative, and socially responsible, inspiring us to approach teaching with creativity and purpose.